Dun, 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 dun,
Oh,
dun.
here we go. Here we go. We're live, baby. Woo! What's up, Dennis?
All right. Hey, Adam. It's good to see you, man.
Hey,
and actually
likewise.
see you. That's,
Oh boy, that sucks for you,
a little
buddy.
different for us. Oh God, come on. He jokes. No, folks.
I fully mean
Thank
it.
you for joining us. If you come to check this out after our live stream, this is our debut live stream in this. We're doing a whole new format for Movie Toast. We're trying out something different. We've heard the
We're
call
going
out
video
that,
quality. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. We've heard you
I'm
guys
sorry to cut you
request
off.
that. No. We've heard the call that you'd like to see us chat about movies and such. So here
Doesn't
we
make
are.
any sense.
This is what you've been missing out on. So you're welcome. And
Yeah. You can catch this live over on Facebook, one of our Facebooks, not both, YouTube and Twitter, hopefully.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. This is going to have a few hiccups, so please bear with us. We're still, we got the training wheels on. We're still going to try to figure out what our natural rhythm of things are going to be for the future episodes, but please stay tuned. We're going to do our best. The podcast shall remain the same. If you're listening to us on the podcast now, this is the first you've heard. Yes, you can go to all of the places Adam just mentioned. We're going to be doing this, I guess, for the foreseeable future.
Yeah.
It'll be Sunday evenings every other week. Same week we release the episode on the podcast. Earlier in that week should be the live broadcast of the show. Just keep an eye out.
But you can always go back and revisit it.
Yes.
Probably. Yes. We think.
I hope so. That's the idea, anyways. We're hoping. So we're gonna.
Yeah. And fuck. Yeah. Yeah. It's gonna be boring as shit. Man. We got 0 views right now, and hopefully we'll have one day.
That's. We're working through it. We're working through it. Like I said, hopefully this is getting posted after we actually do the live stream. So we'll check out your views later. But until then.
See.
I think should we kick this thing off?
Yeah, let's get out of this bitch.
Let's send.
It's the Movie Toast, the show here for you. Dennis and Adam joke about orgasms and sweet movie reviews. We talk about TV too, right?
I think so.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, Movie Toast.
Woo! Already fuck up number one. Got the sneak preview at our first film right there. Welcome, Toasties, to Movie Toast News and Reviews, episode 174, potentially named Old Dad's Cocaine Dick and Mum. I don't know. That's not what Dennis pitched. It was better on Dennis's view.
It's all good. Well, folks, welcome to the show. Like mentioned before, new format, kind of tooling around with a couple of little bitty things on the visual side, but as far as the rest of the show goes, we're doing it all the same as the podcast. So, I know I've had an interesting week of trying to find movies that are. Well, I didn't have to try to find movies on theme. It was pretty easy to find stuff. It's Halloween. Look, we're going to Halloween. It's October.
Oh, wow.
A lot of it. Well, I mean, like, I know October, like we talked about last time, it gets easy to get caught up in like the festive nature
horror
of things.
themes.
And just about every horror movie, will work for a Halloween movie. And we watched a lot of that kind of stuff. But then we had this kind of like, no, we need to break out of that a little bit. We had to kind of brighten up this selection.
Too much murder and
comedy
mayhem.
And then and Adam, so Val and I both finally cracked open Harley Quinn, and I watched like 2 or 3 episodes while Val was working in the middle of the workday. And she's like, "Okay, this is funny." So we've been watching it together now. We're halfway through season 2.
I mean, I've only been telling you for like 3 years now to watch this, so I'm happy you made it there.
Hey, dude, I'm fine. I'm glad I finally jumped on the ship here, but it's been fun. That is
what I really like about that show. Each season is its own contained thing, and the story just evolves and gets even better each time, each new season.
There's an incredible amount of character development, like for it being an almost like Adult Swim level of violence and dirty humor and all of this sort of fun, raunchy things we like from that end of the spectrum, it is very well executed on top of all that. The voice acting is fantastic. Just all of the talent in all departments, really. The show looks great. The art style is fantastic. It's both calls back to what the DC animated series I used to like watching, Justice League and all of the Superman series and stuff like that back in the day. But it gives that kind of fresh presentation to things that I'm a fan of now. And I don't know, it's been fun. Like I said, sorry it took so long, but I finally got into it. And I'm fucking loving it. So
I'm just happy you like it, because if it like sucked a big bag of dicks, it would be, why is that a bad thing? I feel like dick sucking is a good thing. I don't know why people say that. I would feel really bad if I told you it was great and you hated it. I'd be like, oh well, looks like you can't trust me.
And hey, like you said, Ron Funches is like secretly one of the funniest.
I love him. Oh yeah. He's fantastic.
Can I eat that guy? That was just, oh my god, that's fucking great.
Wait till you see where he's at this current season. Fantastic.
Oh yeah, no, I'm looking forward to. Oh man, like I said, then they've done really crazy shit. I like that sort of very meta presentation that they're using with like the whole Batman going missing, and they did that whole episode of the fanboys shitting on the show, and then finally convinced to come and watch it. Like. See, that's clever. I like that sort of approach to addressing what your story is about. But I know I'm getting into the TV taquitos. It's an old habit of mine, but it's within the world. Funny. I feel of
in our TikTok queue, I have like a review of the current season that I'm just waiting for a day where I have nothing to talk about. So I'll slap that up there.
Oh, there you go. Nice. Yeah. Oh shit, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I'll have to avoid that one because they won't be caught up. I got to get up to the. It's 3, right?
There are 4? Some spoils. I think it's 4. And there's already next year we're getting the spinoff. Kite Man, hell yeah, he runs the bar that they go to, so I'm looking forward to that. Gonna get some villains in there. It's like a Cheers for villains.
I fucking love that. That's great.
Yeah.
Bane's also another like.
Oh, Bane is one of my favorites. His arc in the current season is my favorite.
I'm going to blow it up.
He also has a good arc in the Valentine's Day special. Some good shit.
Oh, nice. Oh,
just even the story with Ivy and Harley. It's great.
They're great. They're a classic pair, though. I have a lot of fun watching this. It's really good. No, fantastic stuff. I know there's other things I still got to get to, like Our Flag Means Death. I've had many people keep telling me to finally crack that open. I'm like, I know I need to, and
we did a rewatch of the first season.
Another one
recently.
I know I'm missing, like something. That's what I don't know.
But hey, that's the beauty. You like to think it's not going anywhere, but now anything can disappear from these services. So
right?
Who knows?
This is the era we live in. We've talked about this in episodes past. We live in this era of the digital format. A lot of movies just fucking up and disappear. I was talking about how I couldn't find K-19 for the longest time. Now all of a sudden it popped up on like Max picked it up or Hulu or someone, and it's like, that's funny. Did you guys hear me talking about missing this Harrison Ford Soviet submarine classic? I think
never
so.
know.
Well,
the world needs more Soviet submarine movies, apparently.
Soviet submarine commander. Different submarine movie, but hey.
Hey,
still good.
Who's judging? So that's cool that you're getting into that. Should we get in some poll action?
I think I'm ready for some poll action. Let's wind it up. Let's go.
Oh yeah, let's go. Let's do that. Ooh, boy. Yeah, there's gonna be some music here. All right, Dennis, up first.
I love that song.
Let's see. There was a movie I reviewed on the last episode, 173. I reviewed Totally Killer, which was a time travel movie. So I wanted to know what the Toasties' favorite time travel movie made in the 2000s was out of Edge of Tomorrow, About Time, Looper, and The Butterfly Effect.
It's funny. I feel bad because I haven't seen half of these.
That's all right.
But
I've seen them all. Effect. They're not all great.
Ethan Suplee action in The Butterfly Effect. But to be honest, Edge of Tomorrow, I love that movie. That sort of like infinite loop. You're just driving at the mission sort of. It's like, it reminds me of a video game. The casting is fantastic. Tom Cruise is that perfect amount of just like insanity to have as your main character, that he just keeps coming at the mission. I loved it. Edge of Tomorrow, I love it. Hands down. Of those four, and easily my choice.
For you people who are wondering what Edge of Tomorrow is, it's the movie that a lot of people think is titled Live, Die, Repeat, because that was the catchphrase and that was all over the posters.
Yes.
I don't fucking
know. Biggest letters on the poster, for some reason, were not the name of the movie. But hey, some design degree kid thought they were clever. Some studio agreed with them. So
hey, it worked, I guess. Got people talking. For me, I think it's got to be this British movie About Time. Fantastic film with Rachel McAdams and who the fuck? What's his name? The redheaded guy from the new Star Wars movies. The lead in the Peter Rabbit. Yes. What the fuck's his name? I don't know why I'm blanking on his name.
General
I don't really know it. Yes. I mean, I normally know the name of the actor.
I like that actor. Damn it. Oh man!
Oh, he's fantastic.
Swear to God, folks, we watch movies. Dude,
his dad's an actor.
I want to remember before I look it up.
I'm looking it up because
you already are.
There it is.
You're gonna beat me to
it. Donald Gleason. Oh man,
Donald Gleason. God damn it. Yes.
Ooh, did you see? I know there was a limited series last year on FX. Starring him, and he was like a serial killer, and he kidnaps his psychiatrist, played by Steve Carell.
Yes,
very good show.
We didn't finish the season because like we caught up to the current episode, and then we kind of forgot about it. But psychiatrist, is that what it was,
or something like that? Probably. I wouldn't be shocked.
Yeah. That was fucking awesome, and I loved. That's more the Steve Carell we got to see too. Like that was cool.
Serious.
And Donald Gleason does a damn good American accent. I gotta be honest.
Right? It's very believable.
When he gets really stressed out and he starts getting into that really like tense, like
manic
mode. I feel is when that's when a lot of actors who don't have American accents to begin with, sometimes that's when it starts to bleed through. But he was like throttles. Like I don't know. He's got it down, man.
Yeah,
they're 100%. Great. That was a cool show.
Yeah.
But so I'm curious, what was the least? What was the lowest one first?
We were both kind of on par here. 20% for Edge of Tomorrow.
No!
20% for About Time. 20% for The Butterfly Effect, and 40% for Looper. I'm not gonna lie, man. I tried Looper when it first came out. I hated it. I don't know. Yeah. I gotta go back and rewatch it. I thought it was boring as shit. I like the concept.
Remember that when it came out, a lot of people said the same thing. Said it was boring. Said it was not a good movie. I'm like, why? But lately, that seems to be
everyone's
the one I see that gets called back the most. Why? It's not. It's like,
I don't get it.
Everything I've heard, it's like not the best version of Joseph Gordon-Levitt you've ever seen. This is not the best Bruce Willis you've ever seen. Why are we checking in for this?
Maybe it's the Rain Johnson of everything. I don't know. People are just jumping on his bandwagon. I honestly, I don't know.
I was like you. I liked the idea of what the movie was, but I just remember the couple times I tried watching it, I just got so bored.
I don't even know if I finished it. I feel like I fast forward a bit and then I stopped watching because I'm like, this story's slow. But everything about it should be cool. I like those actors, and isn't what's her face? Live, Die, Repeat. Edge of Tomorrow, isn't Emily Blunt his mother?
Mrs. Jim Halpert.
Mrs. Halpert. Fucking Mary Poppins 2.0.
It's been a while. God,
I feel like she was his mother. I don't know. Or lover? I don't know.
Maybe I should try watching this again. Because
let's do a commentary track on that.
Right? That's a good call. Let's
do it.
Let's see how we truly feel about it now.
Yeah. All right. Man. Well, up next, I don't know. I guess we reviewed some horror movie. I don't recall what the horror movie was, but we did. So I wanted to know what the Toasties' favorite horror franchise is out of Alien, Evil Dead, Scream, and Saw. Oh, I reviewed Saw X. That's what
I was going to say. You reviewed Saw. We reviewed Saw, Haunted Mansion, Totally Killer, Pet Sematary. So there's a few things.
There was a lot of horror.
There was a few things.
I guess Saw was the horror franchise. That's what I was pulling from. Yes. I guess in my head. Yeah. I feel like I don't get to ask you here. I feel like Saw is probably your favorite. I mean, yeah, I don't know.
That's fine. That's the only one I've probably seen.
For me, I think it's Evil Dead. I've seen all the Screams. I love Scream, but I think Evil Dead, it has to be it for me.
I've seen all the Evil Deads. I haven't seen all the Alien movies. I love the first 3 Alien movies. Saw's got some stinkers in them there, though. It's
got a lot of stinkers.
Journey, but I will say Saw as well. It is the first horror series I got really invested in and wanted to pursue. Once I started watching the first couple, I was like, you know what? I'm going to watch all of them as they come out now. And
I mean, the first one was genius, and then they threw it in your face. It's like, oh, it's October, it's Halloween, it's Saw time, and it's like, oh fuck, the marketing's gotten us, I think. And we're right at that age where it's like, oh, we can go see these R-rated movies. And I don't know, but I don't know. For me, I think it's Evil Dead because I've always had that passion for it. But I also love Scream. Saw I love, but like you said, a lot of stinkers in the mix.
Just rewatched the first couple of Evil Dead movies, like the original Evil Dead movies, and it's like those are fucking fantastic. The third one's interesting. It's cool. It's a different movie.
We're talking Army of Darkness.
Sorry, fourth one. Yeah, no, not never mind.
We're talking about the
Evil Dead,
the one with what's her face?
Yes. Yeah. So it's like,
why the fuck can't I think of her name
universe or whatever? But and that was okay, but it's like it wasn't quite the. Whereas like something like Cabin in the Woods, much more struck like the chord of being closer to an Evil Dead film to me.
Now, have you gotten to Evil Dead Rise yet? I know it's on Max.
Oh no! No, actually, shit. No,
you gotta check it out, dude.
Latest, where it's like it's kind of a parallel story, right? It's kind of. Not really anything, but sort of is.
It's completely its own new thing. Yeah, it's Evil Dead in an apartment complex. Yeah,
right. Because it's why should this evil like contain itself to like one place? I like this idea of like if this was a character, if this was a wizard, an army of fucking soldiers that ruled beneath this horrible warlock, whatever. More than one person or place would know about them, right? Like.
Yeah, 100%.
So it makes sense that it would spread out. So I like this idea of.
Now, have you ever gave Ash vs. the Evil Dead a shot? Very campy, very on par.
It was kind of like.
It starts convoluting itself a little bit.
I watched the pilot. And I didn't get past that. I wanted to watch more.
I stopped it, and then I went back and rewatched it. Stopped, went back, fully watched it, and yeah, it's middle of the road, I think.
See, right? Like I want that Bruce Campbell camp, but then sometimes it's like, oh my god, this is the whole complex. Yeah. I don't know if I can take all of that.
I mean, he had a blast doing that, dude. I tell you,
it sounds like it.
If any of you listeners out there or watchers. If you ever get the chance to sit down and talk to Bruce, he can tell you amazing stories about all the Evil Deads. Some great stories there about reshooting the first one as a big movie for the sequel. Why they did Army of Darkness. He loved filming Ash vs. Evil Dead over in New Zealand. Oh man, I wish I could get him on this show, but he doesn't remember.
Oh, that'd be amazing. Someday. Could make it happen.
Maybe he can be the count.
Well,
what do the Toasties have to say?
What do the Toasties have to say?
12.5% for Alien, 12.5 for Evil Dead, 25 for Scream, and 50% for the Saw franchise.
It's the Saw season. It just makes sense. Yeah,
it
we
is.
just got another one. Like, yeah.
I bet if we go back, if this was a couple of months ago, if this was the summer when we got Scream 6, probably would have been Scream, I bet.
Lean towards Scream, yep. I bet you.
Yeah.
I feel like you saw that uptake in Ghostface memorabilia for a minute, and then it just kind of faded off. And
yeah.
But
which remember back in the day, Halloween trick-or-treating, that was the fucking outfit. You could just get it. That was a stock thing. People were like, all right, you got to do it. And then they got like
the lazy kids that just like glow in the dark, the blood drip one.
Yep,
the
blood,
oh fuck. You get the kid that just like, didn't do anything. They just put the mask on and like over their street clothes.
Yeah, wore regular clothes.
Costume.
You gotta wear the robe.
Candy.
If you're not wearing the robe, you're not doing it right.
I'll be honest. I was in high school when I was the one answering the door for the trick or treaters. I did give a couple kids some shit. I'm like, come on, guys. One time it was classmates of mine. I'm like, are you serious? Did the same thing.
Wow.
Put a fucking like a ghost face mask on. I'm just like, hey, Corn, can you give me some candy? I'm like, dude,
it's like what the fuck? Hey, you're a little too old to be trick or treating.
Yeah,
come
right,
on, guys.
Like, where's your younger brother? You don't even have your younger siblings. Get the fuck out of here. Like,
yeah, fuck you.
What a dick.
Yeah. How dare you not give them candy? They worked hard putting a mask on.
Right.
All right.
Stealing it from their older sibling.
You reviewed the Guy Ritchie's The Covenant, so I wanted to know what the Toasties' favorite Jake Gyllenhaal movie was out of Prisoners, Nightcrawler, The Day After Tomorrow, and Bubble Boy. Couple of movies. One's not like the others.
Oh, Nightcrawler. Easy. Out of those?
Yeah. Nightcrawler is fantastic.
But Nightcrawler is such... Maybe it's because we lived in LA. Maybe it's just that nature of, I don't know, that sort of the dankness of following something about the villain, kind of.
Right. And like, rooting for him.
Yeah. Oh, God.
And then, that's so many emotions.
Just
gotta go back and rewatch that. It's been so long.
Prisoners is still really good. Funny enough, Day After Tomorrow, I really liked that one also. That's actually, that was...
I remember seeing it a lot, and it never got old. What's that? Yeah.
It was cool. I liked you had the survival aspect of those folks, and you had the other ones, seeing the scientists do their thing, and like, I don't know. That was a...
And it's like, you believe this shit could happen to you kind of thing.
Yeah, then I didn't think about it. That's one of the better, like, large-scale disaster movies I feel really enjoying last. After that, it started getting crazy. 2012.
Well, and plus, most of them were Roland Emmerich himself doing that shit again and again and again, and it's like, we don't need this. It's so repetitive. You've done it, move on. Come on, man.
Exactly.
But
I mean, I never watched, what was the San Andreas? I never watched that shit. But I feel like
San
that's
Andreas.
The last big disaster movie I could think of. Like, when's the last one?
There was one I saw last year. I believe Roland Emmerich. What the fuck was it called? It had we were talking about Patrick Wilson starred in it. What the fuck was it called? And fuck. It was about the world ending. A flood was coming. Family had to get to like Antarctica or some. What the fuck was this? Oh God! And it had the Night Watchman. Fucking Jon Snow's best friend was in it.
Moonfall.
God damn it! Yes,
Moonfall.
You know, it wasn't even a bad movie. It was an all right movie. I remember I was pissed because I saw that in Boston. I was killing time before I went to see the Smartless live tour. The show that Jason Bateman, Will Arnett, and what's his face does. And I'm like, I'll go to the second show. As I was watching Moonfall, they were interviewing or having fun with fucking Conan O'Brien. And then the show I went to was an MIT professor. I'm like, I'm watching Moonfall, and now I gotta watch a fucking MIT. Fuck me. You son of a bitch. I don't know. I hold grudges on myself. But it's funny watching sorry. No, you're good.
I was gonna say it sounds like we're both Moonfall or Moonfall.
Yeah,
Nightcrawler. God damn it!
Nightcrawler. 100%. Yep. Let's stay on focus here. Sorry, in case that one viewer keeps popping back, or anybody's actually listening to this show. I assume you're not surprised by 0% for Bubble Boy, 25% for Prisoners, 25 for The Day After Tomorrow, and 50 for Nightcrawler. The Toasties were on our side.
That makes sense. I mean, although interesting choice, like valid movies, but
sure,
yeah, no, Nightcrawler, man.
I remember when Bubble Boy came out, I was so excited, and then I saw it on DVD, and I'm like, okay, it's all right. But to think that was like the early days of Jake Gyllenhaal, and now he's like a big star. I guess he's a big star. God, remember that good movie that
episode? What's that?
No, go ahead.
That episode of Hot Ones, his most recent interview in Hot Ones that he did. It's like maybe 6 or 8 months old or something now. He talks about Sean Evans, of course, brings up Bubble Boy. He's like, oh God, yep. I mean that he's just like, it's this movie. He's just like, yep. And what's funny is people still approach him for it. He's just like, yep. Every once in a while, someone will walk up to me with a fucking DVD, and I'm just like, okay, all right, yeah, let's do it. Yeah, it's just like, damn, okay, but it's true.
Right?
You can't shake off the things you've been in.
No,
that guy's had such a varied career. My God,
so many things. God, I'm thinking about his terrible movie with Michael Bay from 2 years ago, Ambulance. What a bad movie. But then there's that one movie that they shot during COVID, the one where he's at the call center for 911 that we both liked.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
The title, but that was fantastic.
That was cool. Let's see. I got it. Like I'm looking at it.
It's not emergency. And it wasn't too long ago. It was like 2 years ago, a year ago. But he's fantastic as Mysterio.
The Guilty.
The Guilty. Yes.
The Guilty. Yes, that was it.
Good one.
Yeah, he was great in Mysterio. End of Watch. He's a great fucking LAPD cop. I mean, this guy, he's crazy. You forget he's one of the kids in City Slickers.
Oh shit! Is he one of Billy Crystal's kids?
Huh. I think so. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, probably not Daniel Stern, or definitely not fucking John Lovitz. Wow. You know, I still have never seen.
Mario.
I've seen Mario. What?
No, no, the other actor, Bruno Kirby, wasn't he in the Mario Brothers movie? No,
I don't even know who that is.
Never mind.
Maybe
he is it.
You're talking about live action Mario, aren't you?
Basketball Diaries. Yeah. Oh no, that's fucking. What am I saying? That's
no.
Never mind. I'm already wasting time.
We should really not name things because we don't really know. I've never seen fucking Donnie Darko. I gotta see that movie. Everyone says good things.
Yeah. No, for sure.
Yeah. And the last episode, I reviewed the Stephen King adaptation, kinda-ish, Pet Sematary Bloodlines over on Paramount Plus. So I wanted to know what the Toastie's favorite Stephen King adaptation was out of The Dead Zone, Maximum Overdrive, Thinner, and Dreamcatcher.
Ooh. I liked... Well, there's some siren action.
You know, there we go.
I liked the movie and the series, The Dead Zone, but Maximum Overdrive is just that fucking campy shit that I cannot get enough of. That's something I'm surprised they didn't go back and try to remake or turn into a series again or something like.
Right?
No, but Dead Zone. No, you had Christopher Walken in the movie. And then you had Anthony Michael Hall in the TV series.
Yes, yeah.
And I watched the series first, and then went back and watched the movie. Damn, I don't know. I'm kind of I'm torn between those two.
I remember as a kid, I don't know why, watching Thinner and really enjoying Thinner. And thinking it was.
I see that on a lot of lists. That's one I haven't seen. Actually,
it's good, man. It's fun. It's kind of airy and awkward, but I also do. Well, I think maybe the reason I like it. Let's see. Am I wrong here? I think I'm wrong. Yep, not even gonna say it because I would have been wrong. But I also do like Dreamcatcher because I think you get some good Jason Lee action in there. Him running his mouth. I always enjoy Jason Lee. But
oh, there you go. Nice.
I don't know if I've ever seen The Dead Zone. I should check it out. But yeah,
it's a fun one. I like that sort of supernatural kind of effect to things. Not really a superhero, but like not knowing what to do with this thing you can do now.
Power.
Yeah,
makes sense.
Yeah.
So 0% for Maximum Overdrive.
Oh,
0% for Thinner.
Oh, damn! we both got checked.
Yeah. But nobody cares about our shit that we like. Surprisingly, 11.1% for The Dead Zone. That's I don't know how it breaks down to 11.1. And 88.9% for Dreamcatcher.
My God! All right.
This is the poll that got the most people voting. So the people really love Dreamcatcher. I honestly thought nobody really remembered it. But
it's like if only Dr. Sleep was in there, would have just nuked it of it.
Oh God, I was talking to Sarah about that the other day. She's like, it wasn't a bad movie. I'm like, it was so terrible. It was the worst.
I think I fell asleep twice. Like it was
I wouldn't blame you.
And then we're finally at the hotel, and I wake back up, and I'm like, oh, wait, I recognize
it should get good now.
No, never mind.
It still sucked there.
Yeah.
And then you go back to the woods. You get the fucking weird voodoo people. Come on.
Yeah, I wanted to like that more. But I didn't.
Just didn't seem necessary. Sacrificing kids.
The first movie was enough. To go back and like try to add on all the extra lore. Well, I just that killed it for me. That killed it. Just watch The Shining again. Yeah. Call it good.
Right. But I can't stand The Shining, Dennis. I don't know why. I hate it. It's so boring to me. But it's
kind of a challenge. It's like an art house horror movie to me, though. Like it's...
I can see that.
It's so steeped in the visual aspect and the tone of the world is trying to set you
if it was
which is beautiful. It looks beautiful. But, yeah.
If it was to be released today, it would have been like an A24.
Yes. Oh, for sure. Oh, without question.
Yeah.
That would definitely
But, you know what else I watched for the first time today that... I've never seen, and I'm like, why have I never seen it? For years I said I was going to watch it, so I sat down today. Young Frankenstein. Did not like it. Thought it was boring as shit. Not even funny to me. I don't know what's wrong with me.
Wow.
I got bad taste. I guess that's what's wrong with me. I love Peter Boyle. Fucking Willy Wonka's fun, but I don't know. I feel like you don't have a lot of the monster in there. I don't know, but I like the way it looked. It felt like that he was doing a good rendition of that type of movie, but I don't know.
Huh?
Mel Brooks.
I'm surprised.
Yeah.
Well, Mel Brooks is a very like it. I know he's not your favorite of the comedic directors,
but as a kid, I really liked his stuff. Dracula Dead and Loving It. I used to love, and then for one reason or another, I'm like, maybe not. I loved Robin Hood Men in Tights, Spaceballs.
Oh yeah.
Last time I watched them, I'm like, I don't know, it's just so childish, this humor.
Spaceballs, I think, aged better than Robin Hood Men in Tights did. Last time I watched Robin Hood Men in Tights, it was like, oh wow, this is no wonder I liked watching this as a kid, and my parents kind of just like left the room. Like it's like, oh, okay.
Fair enough.
No, but silent movie. That's one I would say go back and try to watch again.
I don't think I've ever seen that.
Blazing Saddles is still, I think, probably my favorite. But silent movie is really fucking good, and it's funny because they're sticking within a very specific format. They're sticking within the gag of it being a silent film, and they keep that whole thing running for the whole movie, and it's still interesting. It's still funny. It's a lot of physical comedy, but it's different. That's why I'm curious how you take it, because he does it very different from the rest. So maybe it will strike a chord. I don't know.
Possibly. If it's streaming out there, maybe I'll check it out. Speaking of streaming, Dennis, I think your first review is available on a platform that's streaming.
That it is. My first review of The Eve. Once I get my page back up here, my first review is Ma, which is available on Netflix right now.
Oh.
So this is a film that came out back in 2019. For those of you who haven't seen it, it's this kind of a thriller, sort of horror story that you got this group of high school teenagers that are looking for a place to party, and by one means or another, they cross paths with this lady who's like, "Oh, just come over to my house. It's going to be better over here. Just party in my basement, so you're not out like doing dangerous stuff, and it'll be safer. It's great. It's whatever." And over time, it starts getting bigger, and she starts getting more involved until you start to realize has some hand in either like she's trying to relive some glory days from when she was a kid, or it's clear some other motive has boiled up, and this is all coming down to a head at one point. So you have Octavia Spencer starring in it, and she's fantastic. She does a great job in most everything she's in, really. Even playing Ma, Sue Ann. Like I believe she is this kind of caring woman who's just trying to be nice, and every once in a while something weird will happen, but like it's kind of whatever, you kind of brush it off. Diana Silvers is one of the main kids that stars in it. I recognize her immediately from Space Force. I know it's a very hit and miss series for a lot of folks, but she played Steve Carell's daughter in that series. She carries the film pretty well. What I started to have a hard time with is how many stories we tried to keep layering into this thing. There's the setup I gave you, right? And then you find out, oh wait, she knows the parents of those kids. They're like, oh, okay, sure, that layer makes sense. And then she's got a daughter that is really sick. That's obviously is not sick. She's being like drugged to keep her sick. And then you start adding one after another. I was like, oh God, you know what? I was starting to get so convoluted in all the layers of things. And like, there was interesting moments. I like these scenes where you would have the stress start to set in of like, fuck, I know this thing is about to turn. The text messages they were getting, she's like planning at the party's forum now. Like, I kind of like the ramping up. I think we should have started more from her side of things. Like, I would have liked the almost predatory idea of watching her then lure the kids, like knowing she's going to spring this trap. But instead, it was this kind of like, will she, won't she sort of thing. And I don't know. I think I wanted to like it a lot more. I don't think it struck as strong a chord as it could because it tried to split its attention between way too many of these little stories throughout. And I kind of just wanted to see her do her thing and not either give me the final girl or give me the big bad. Don't try to give me both across two different characters. There's the one seeking revenge and the one who's trying to save the daughter who, I don't know. I just, it was, for being,
sounds like you loved it.
For being a thing I went back and revisited, it's only 2.5 slices. I think it was kind of neat in some of the presentation. I like the idea of what we were showing here. I don't think it's something, if you've missed it, it's not like a big deal to go back and watch. But hey, maybe throw it in the lineup if you feel like I said, Octavia Spencer did a great job, but only as good a job as she could have done on her own. Some of the stuff was kind of campy, cheesy, like a little much for me when it didn't seem like this was not the movie I was checking in for, a campy, cheesy thing. So, 2.5 slices over on Netflix.
I'll play devil's advocate. I really enjoyed it, man. I do understand what you're saying. There is too much layering of bullshit happening. I don't know. I just was along for the ride most of it, but yeah, I see your point of view. Yeah, 100%.
I like the stuff with the dad, like when she finally cornered the boy that she liked. It's like that would have been so much more satisfying if we played that up more instead of all of a sudden, we're just knocking off the first person we get. Oh, okay. Well, we knew that was going to happen by then. At that point, it was kind of like, oh, yeah. True. I don't know. There was so much potential there. I wanted to like it more, but
fair enough.
Not to say I wouldn't try something like this again.
Hey, you never know. I had the luckiness to check out the musical film of the season. And if you're thinking I'm talking Taylor Swift, the Eras Tour, I'm too cheap to do that. I saw Dix, the musical. Although when I was in the theater, I saw this at the AMC 25 in Times Square, and just walking throughout this theater, all you could hear was Taylor Swift music and crowd reactions. And even in my theater, all the musical, you could hear the vibrations of the fucking concert happening in every other theater. It's crazy. And to think it's making like, at this weekend, we're probably at like 200 million only playing on weekends. It's crazy, but I'm not here to talk about that. Because that's $40 and I don't really know Taylor Swift music.
That.
But
yeah.
Dix the Musical is a very interesting film here, Dennis. So it's about these two guys who are the manliest men in their eyes. They're the best salesmen at their companies. They're the top of the world. They're fantastic. Each grown up with a single parent. And we find out they've never met each other, even though they live almost next door to each other. But they meet one day when they both start their two companies merge together, and they're both very competitive about like getting the most sales for their company. And then they realize that they're twins, and they were separated at birth, and they decide they want to do like a parent trap situation to get their parents together. But their parents are fucking kooky and weird. Like one of their parents, the dad, is played by Nathan Lane. He just came out of the closet, and he doesn't really get out much because he raises his sewer boys. He has these mutant fucking creatures living in a cage that he has.
Is that what's on the fucking poster down there?
Yeah, the bottom of the thing. Yep.
Oh my god.
That's okay. One of the mutant boys. He got them when he was kayaking through the sewers, and of
Los Angeles.
He loves them. No, I don't know where it takes place. I know they filmed in Los Angeles, but they escape sometimes. He has to put a tracking device on them. He baby birds them like deli meats. It's just fucking creepy and weird. It's just fantastic to see, because when they when the boys realize that they're siblings, they want to meet each other's parents, so they get haircuts, they get bad wigs that look like one another, and they go to meet their parents. So the boy that's never met his dad is meeting his dad, and when like Nathan Lane's like, I'm gay, he's like, oh, is that something that I never knew before? Because clearly he just has the energy. And when he meets the sewer boys, he's just fucking creeping out. He's like, what the fuck is this? It's fantastic. And then when the other boy goes to meet his mother, it's played by Megan Mullally. She is like an older woman in a wheelchair. She says she's like 90 something. She's fucking weird. She's like having sex with like garden gnomes and like little knickknacks in her house, and we find out that her vagina literally flew away. It detached from its body and started flying around like a monster, and the son had to kill it with a flip-flop, and she keeps it in like a baggie. It's fucking weird, and like she hasn't left her house in years. So both these parents are very fucking weird, and their plan is to get their parents together and have their family be a family and have the parents get married. And it's a bunch of silly things that happen with very raunchy, very over the top, crazy music. It like original music.
Really?
Like the end song is, I think it's called God is Gay or God is a Faggot, something like that. That's how they end the movie. It's like the weirdest. And they have it's just so crazy. And this all started as these two guys are doing started it years ago as a UCB show that they would just put on, and they finally got to do this. And their boss at the company they work at is Megan Thee Stallion, and there's a lot of cameos from people, and it's just crazy and intense and a wild fucking ride. And the end is fucking. I want to tell you what happens because it's just creepy, but it's funny and it's weird and it's disturbing. But that's the whole movie. But it ramps up. It gets worse and worse in the craziness. All right, so I think I started the movie with like 8 people in the theater. by the end of the movie, I was one of 4 that survived. People were walking out of this movie. It was that crazy and madcapped. I thought it was fucking fantastic. I was laughing my ass off the whole time.
I'm intrigued.
I think it's now in wide release. It's definitely worth checking out. I'm giving Dix the musical. I'm gonna give it 3 slices of toast. It's fantastic.
Damn. That's wild.
The Sewer Boys and yeah, man, so much happens, but I don't want to ruin it.
That's funny. No, you piqued my curiosity. I'll definitely have to seek this one out upon the wide release once that's for sure. But another kind of wild story. I got around to another film that was a little older, a little dated, but something that I was curious about for a long time. Val refused to watch it for the longest time. It's just like, this sounds stupid. I'm like, of course it is. I mean, the name of the movie is Cocaine Bear, so might as well be the friggin'. It's going to be ridiculous. I expect to see maulings, cocaine, and people running scared. Guess what? You get all 3. Cocaine Bear is it. This is an Elizabeth Banks directed film that came out earlier this year. That it had a very mixed reviews, but I think it was just because of the expectation of not only the pedigree of the cast, the director, and everyone else attached to it, but what is this story gonna be? Like, what are you actually watching? So it tells the story of, we open up on a cocaine trafficker. This part of the story is actually true. Cocaine trafficker throwing bags of coke out of a plane. He jumps out himself while the plane goes crashing off into the mountains of Tennessee, but his chute doesn't deploy. He's weighted down with too much coke. He hits his head on the door out. That might be a thing fluffed up in the movie, but funny enough, it's the actor that plays Kerry Russell's wife, her husband in The Americans, is the drug trafficker that dies in the first 2 minutes of the movie. And I think I lost your audio there, buddy. So we get a few actual news clips of that happening, and then we start adding in the other layered stories. We got the American end of the drug supply, where they lost their end of the cocaine connection, so Colombians are on them to go and recover the load. You have some campers who were out walking in the wilderness who came across this bear that stumbled across the cocaine stash and has indulged itself. There's a single mother who's got a young daughter who's kind of adventurous and a little bit rebellious, that is in about middle school. Her and her best friend skip school to go into the woods so she can paint the waterfalls that she wanted to. It's like, and then you got the cops that are trying to follow. So you've got, like, it ends up being almost 3 or 4 prongs of the story all fanning out. And that's the kind of thing that started to, like, oh, okay. Wait a minute. What are we? Oh, shit. No, park ranger. Oh, no. Now we're back to, it's like the movie has ADD. We keep jumping from one thing to the other. Having said that, though, it was still funny. The cast was great. Freaking Han Solo was great. Freaking young Cube was great. I liked everyone. I liked all the cast members. The dialogue, I don't think was very good, though. Like, we started to get these kind of scenes where it's like, I liked where we started to get, then all of a sudden we kind of like sit there and simmer for a minute too long before finally something happens and we move it along to the next thing. And it was fun. I will say that. It was a fun movie to watch. It wasn't like this big groundbreaking, I don't know. I feel like it's like the audience that loves watching The Meg or something. It's a creature feature spectacle, and you got to have a motivation to get involved with the creature somehow. And it was just fun enough, I guess. I liked these outdoor locations. A lot of the CG bear was kind of intense. There's times where, it was very comical. It's kind of like watching a cartoon at the same time. But it was okay. It was not terrible, but it wasn't the greatest, like, fun, campy thing I feel like I've seen in a minute. I'm giving this 2.5 slices. It's over on Amazon Prime right now if you've got that. But it was still a neat movie. But I'm glad I kind of waited to see it and didn't like rush out right away. Maybe it would have been more fun in the crowd, like in a movie theater. I feel like the crowd reaction.
Yeah.
We'll have to see what the next one. Aren't they doing like a spinoff or a sequel or something now? Like,
I don't know.
Got the rights to
they
one.
could. I mean, nothing's ever off the table, I suppose, at this juncture. But
right.
I mean, you can actually watch the documentary about this over on Peacock. I think they have the real life story on there. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
You can watch the fake one and the real life thing. Yeah, I think I liked it a little bit more than you. The cast, I really dug the cast. I think.
Fuck yeah!
Felt like Han Solo and Ice Cube's kid were pretty good together, and that random teenager guy. The story with the cop and his dog.
Isaiah Whitlock Jr. I loved him in The Wire. And like just the way he carried his character, and like I immediately, shit, his fucking trademark line in that show.
All
that stuff. The skateboarder stab gang thing, like they were funny. The one kid that gets away, like, but it was like again, it's like so many of these things kind of thrown in together at the same time.
Yeah,
it was.
And then Margot Martindale and what's his face from Jesse Tyler Ferguson.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just as that person. As soon as you met him, that dude's getting fucking eaten by a bear.
Mm-hmm.
That guy's
he doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. I think my favorite line is just the kids. Oh yeah, I do coke all the time, and then they eat it, and like later on they're like,
coke this weekend.
Coke. Yeah.
Mama Bear always knows.
Silly movie.
Okay. When fucking Alden was it Alden Enric when he sits he gets in the truck with the dog. Is that dog on cocaine? He just immediately fucking when the kid picks the duffel bag up out of the goats out of the back of the truck. Like I like that apprehension, those little nods. There was funny moments.
There's a lot going on. You could streamline it a little bit more. Yeah,
I think it could have been a little tighter. I think it could have been a little tighter, but it was fun. It's still a fun movie.
Yeah.
Like I said, I wish I would have seen it in the theater. I might have probably bumped it up a little bit, but
it is what it is.
Put it this way: I would see another something in this vein by Elizabeth Banks. I like her directing style.
Oh yeah,
I'm all about checking that out again.
Heck yeah! But, and it was produced by Lord and Miller as well. They know some comedy stuff. I don't know. I'm gonna switch gears a little bit to a French film that comes out in a couple of weeks called Anatomy of a Fall. This movie, it's interesting. It starts off with a woman being interviewed by someone writing an article about her, and in the middle of the interview, music just starts blaring. And you can tell the woman that's getting interviewed is a little irritated, but she's like, whatever, we can force through this. And then the interview gets cut short. And we find out that the husband was mad that she was doing an interview while he was doing something. And the son goes out on a walk with their dog. And when they come back, you just find that they find the father face down in the snow, blood drenched all around him. He's dead. And it then becomes a thriller about, did the mom kill the father or did he fall out of the window? And it becomes a court trial. And there's a lot of things showing that if he fell out of the window, things wouldn't happen and look the way they did. But at the same time, there was no evidence that the woman did what she did. And it was just this interesting story because you don't fully know as the audience member. You're like, you could see why she would do it and you could see her doing it. But at the same point, it's just hard to tell. And as the movie progresses, you learn a lot more about her relationship with her husband. And you just get a lot of like twists and turns along the way. And it's just a really kind of twisted movie. And it's not bad, but it's kind of long. At like an hour in, I really had to use the bathroom. So I'm like, all right, I'll run to the bathroom really quick. And I thought I was probably like an hour 45 in. but no. And like it kept going. And then you're like, okay, the court trial's over. This movie's going to end. And then it continues a little bit more.
Oh.
But it's good because you're learning stuff as the movie progresses. I don't want to spoil which way it leans if she did or didn't do it. But it's definitely interesting because it is a French movie, but most of it is spoken in English because the wife, I think, is Swiss and the husband was French. So they speak English as a common ground. Yeah. And it's shot beautifully. They live in like the middle of nowhere in this like cabin in this snowy like town. And it's intense. It's a really heavy movie.
Interesting. Okay.
Isn't a bad thing. Yeah.
It wasn't my radar before, so I'm glad you brought it up. That's interesting.
Yeah. And I think it comes out in a couple of weeks. And I think this might be France's entry into the Oscars. So there's some buzz around it. And it's definitely worth watching. You just got to be prepared for some heavy themes, some brutal stuff that you'll see, and for a bit of a long movie. But overall, I'm going to give Anatomy of a Fall 2.5 slices of toast. It was a fun movie. Wasn't the best, wasn't the worst, just middle of the line, but I don't regret seeing it.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I want to take things back into another creature feature direction. If you're up for it in my next review.
I mean, why not?
it's still a little Halloweeny. In fact, I think this is a part of the Huluween collection this year. So over on Hulu right now, you can find the newly released film, The Tank. So this one is telling the story of it is starring Matt Whelan and Lucene Buchanan. Matt Whelan plays Ben, married to Jules, and Ben's mother recently passed away. They've been disconnected for a long time, and there was a lot of this like turmoil in the family. How his young sister and his father mysteriously died. She said they went out on a boat or something in the ocean on their old coast house. I forget what the story was, but they disappeared. She's like, they died. They're dead. Just don't cut, like they're gone. Don't look for them. The police were suspicious of her. She finally kind of just like went off the grid. Excuse me. When her son eventually drifted away from her, he started his new life with his wife. They have a kid. But then once she passed away, their house was left in his will. And this lawyer sought him out and was like, hey, we've got this property up in Northern California, I believe is what it was. You need to, whatever you want to do with it, it's yours now. The house is yours. So he's going back to his childhood home, and it's kind of in this huge piece of land. He doesn't even remember a lot of the stuff about it, but as he's approaching it, it's like, oh, okay, no, like, well, let's check it out. He brings his wife and daughter. We'll see how much we like it. I don't think we're going to stay here, but we'll spend some time, call it a vacation, take whatever stuff we want, and then sell it and whatever. While they're there checking things out, then there's a well, like a lid to a well on the ground that he opens up, and it's like unusual in its placement, and it seems quite large. He finally just like, oh fuck, I'll just crawl down there. And of course, like why would you go into the dark? The movie called The Tank. He's crawling into it, and he finds this really old timey lantern down there. It's like, oh, that's weird. Whatever. By opening this thing, he's let out, and then because of there was a certain amount of noise that was happening, they start hearing what they think is like something crawling around outside, like someone trying to get in the house, and find out it's this creature. There's like this fucking amphibious monster that is kind of stalking them outside. Someone who came to visit them at the house gets attacked and killed out in the forest. They find their body, and then their kid gets snatched away, and now they're trying to go like find the kid, and it's it is a trial to get through, though. Having said all that, it sounds kind of interesting. The trailer intrigued me. Yeah, it's a cool idea for a monster movie. You kind of get lured in, and then there's nothing. There's like no escape. you can't run and hide because it knows all of the area, the land around you.
Knows it better than you do.
Yeah, that's why it was originally trapped in the place it was. But this movie has almost no logic. There's things that just don't make sense. We get these a couple of kills that are like really over the top and feel unnecessary, only to have one of the main characters just like walk past the fucking creature, or like you get a scratch on you and that's it. They established rules that then get broken steadily throughout the whole movie. I liked the concept of like it was a cool idea up to for the first little bit, and then once like the blood starts flowing, it was like, okay, I was ready to check out. This thing was rough. This was rough. I don't know if it's quite as I'd say about as good as No One Will Save You. Man, this was like,
oh wow.
Oh, I got so by the end of the movie, I was so mad at the characters for just like, and the writers and like anyone who just, why are we making our characters do these stupid things?
To have a plot of a movie
over on Hulu. Oh Jesus. I am gonna give the tank 1.5 slices. It was
wow.
There was things about it I thought were kind of, the monster was cool. I liked the design, like the idea of it, but that was not for me. Not for me.
Fair enough. That's I've never heard of that, but now I'm kind of happy that I didn't hear of it and watch it because you did. You did it for me. Like, it's funny. A movie named The Tank. I thought it was going to be about a tank or something. I kind of pictured like a movie version of that documentary you watched a while ago, but the guy that made the tank just bulldozed the town. I was excited. Then when he said creature feature, I'm like, interesting spin on that.
Water tank, yeah. So I think I need to step away for a quick second. I will be right back, folks.
Yeah.
I apologize. Quick moment. I'll be.
Yeah. I'll take a second here to talk to the audience before. So, yeah. If you like this show, if you're listening to it, and you want to maybe hear some reviews sooner than the time of the posting of the podcast, and you want to hear about movies that are just coming out or coming out soon, you should definitely check out our TikTok at movie_toast, where I do little bite-sized movie reviews called Movie Crumbs. And they go up daily. Sometimes I do a TV toast where I do tiny little clips about TV shows. Sometimes I do trailer reaction videos. Sometimes there's some interviews. Also check us out over on YouTube because that's where most of the interviews go. I talk to writers, directors, actors, editors, and we're at movie_toast over there as well. It's a fun time. It's definitely worth checking out, I think. Like, let's see, currently stuff that I'm not talking about. There's stuff that I saw at New York Comic Con recently, like the pilot episode of Monarch. That's the MonsterVerse Godzilla King Kong style show that's coming soon to Apple TV Plus. Also, I talk about a clip of the new Scott Pilgrim Takes Off anime series that's coming to Netflix. In a couple of days, I'm going to be posting a TV talk about the new John Hamm animated comedy show on Fox called Grimsburg. I saw the pilot of that, and I'm going to give her a brief review of it. I'm also going to be putting out a little summary of stuff that I saw over about the movie The Strangers that's getting a remake, a trilogy. So yeah, check that stuff out. It's kind of fun. It's kind of cool. It might suck. I don't know. But Dennis is back, so we can get back to this real show.
That is.
All right.
How
you doing, bud?
I apologize. I'm
you
back.
Son of a bitch.
I'm good.
Nah, it's all good. It's all good. I hope everything's cool.
Yep.
But hopefully in the audio edit, they can cut all this bullshit out. All right. So up next, I'm going to take you to the 60s. 1964, Boston, dead of winter. A movie called Eileen. It stars the young woman from the Bo Burnham directed movie 8th Grade. She also was in the what was that movie that she was recently in? I feel like there was something. She's in Jojo Rabbit, Last Night in Soho. She plays this young woman who is a secretary at a jail for young boys, and she doesn't really have any friends. she's kind of a loner. She fantasizes about men and sexual encounters. She creepily masturbates and watches people having sex in cars in like a makeout type of area. She takes care of her ex cop father, who's now an alcoholic, played by Shea Wiggum. He's giving a powerhouse performance, and just nothing seems to be going her way until a new psychiatrist starts working at her prison. The psychiatrist takes a shining to her, kind of bonds with her because she's like another young woman. She's a little bit older, played by Anne Hathaway, and they kind of start this bond and friendship. And our main character kind of becomes bewitched by her. She kind of falls in love for her, and she gets nervous and giddy around her. And there's something that happens that takes a wild right-hand turn, and this movie becomes a crazy thriller, and it involves something that these two women get entangled in, and it's wild and it's insane, and I just can't say what it is because it's going to spoil it, but I believe it might be in the trailer, but it's really great. This movie has the vibe and feeling of a 60s movie, like even like the opening of it, the look of it, the ending of it just leaves on like a fucking, it feels like everything about it is top notch. The cinematography, the wardrobe, the set design. You would love the set design, Dennis. It just has that great, rich 60s style feeling to it. A lot of people have these Boston style accents, and they're not bad. Normally they annoy me. And just it's a really good twisted movie. I was kind of expecting a little bit more craziness out of it. Like the trailer made it look like more of an erotic thriller and made it look like there was a little bit something else happening, but it doesn't. And that's totally cool because where they go with it is a twist and crazy. And it's just a fun ride. It feels a little bit long, but it doesn't feel like it's dragging. It just feels like, okay, this could be sped up a little bit, but it's not bad. It's a really fun movie. I think this comes out in December. Definitely an interesting watch, and everyone's giving fantastic performances. The bond that these two women have together, it feels realistic, and it's just it's a very powerful vibe that you're getting from them. I'm going to give Eileen, I would give it 3 slices of toast. It's definitely worth checking out when it comes out.
Nice. Oh shit.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Cool. Interesting.
And
that's not.
I want people to see it because I really want to talk about the twist, but I just can't spoil it.
Oh, nice. Okay. Awesome. No, I'm intrigued. Especially with that cast too. So I feel like it'd be hard to be let down by them.
Yeah, I've been intrigued because I saw a trailer and I'm like, oh, that looks really good, and it premiered recently at the fucking one of the Fantastic Fest in Texas, and it got a good, great recommendation on Doug Loves Movies from Doug himself. He was talking about it. I'm like, now I got to see this. I can get tickets to it. So yeah, I don't regret seeing it. Yeah,
awesome. All right, well, I got to keep things creepy. Go back to the old platform Hulu. Some more Hulu-winess. This is an entry from an actor that we like to hype on the show a lot, Lil Rel Howery. His new horror movie, The Mill. So this is kind of a sort of a futuristic tale, very much akin to like an episode of like Black Mirror or something like that. This clearly a businessman, like an office sort of dude. He wakes up in this cement enclosed cell, dirt floor. There's one door guarded by someone who will kick the fucking shit out of you. And there in the center is like an old style stone mill. There's just a wooden stick sticking out of the wheel to push, and there is a grid, like there's a clock, almost like a digital clock on the wall, just counting how many rotations you've made and what time of day it is, because each day you're to meet your minimum requirement of rotations, and you need to not be the lowest, because the lowest person out of all of the people who are also doing this in their respective cells gets executed at midnight every night before the next day starts. And then it's 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. every single day. They stick one meal through your door, and they give you one bottle of water. They give you just enough food to survive. It's all this calculated stuff. It's like an AI that we'd use on many of our phones and products around our lives. I don't want to say any of the names because they'll probably hear me right now because I have too many of those devices next to me at this moment. So they'll start talking. But it's a device like that he finally you find out he works for the company that makes this. And then he realizes, oh, wait, a lot of everyone else works for this company. And he's trying to figure out what got him there. He might have disagreed with one of his superiors at one point, and he thinks that might have been it. He has a pregnant wife that he finds out on the outside she gave birth to his son in the amount of time he's been inside in this thing. And it just keeps going on and on and on. It's it's agonizing, and in the best possible way to me. I had to finally look up his neighbor, the guy who voices the guy on the other side of the wall from him, who's trying to help him, is voiced by Patrick Fischler. I don't know if you may not recognize the name, but he's in a whole lot of random shit. I hate the stuff that Google lists off first. The Right Stuff, Old School, the TV series Happy. He was one of the team members in Twister. Idiocracy. He's a random guy. He's one of those faces you'd probably recognize if you saw him, which is funny because you never see his face, you just hear his voice. But the movie takes on a tone that kind of starts to remind me of something like Logan's Run, or you're talking about 70s films. It does a good job of achieving a modern version of this the 1970s dystopian sci-fi film. And I really like this kind of grittiness we get. We get a little bit of the classic humor that Lil Rel Howery can bring to the screen, but I liked watching him crumble. You really start to see him break down and just fucking lose it. And it was very limited cast. You see, I don't know, one face, or aside from him, you see one other face for 90 minutes of the the hour and 46 minutes that this movie is. And then you finally see a dozen other faces right at the end. But it was a cool idea. There's a big twist at the end, of course, and I think you can kind of see it coming. It is kind of what I guessed at the beginning. You could probably kind of predict where it's going to go, but the journey there is it's wild. I like it. It's both simple but satisfying at the same time. I really would like to see him do a lot more stuff like this, because I think he fucking killed it in here. Especially soloing a film. To be the only character in a movie, or the primary character for so much of this movie, was impressive. I mean, genuinely, he did a great job. I'm going to give The Mill over on Hulu 3 slices of toast. Now, I don't think it's going to be quite for everyone. Some people, I think, might find some of it a little dull, but it's kind of all of that anxiety-inducing buildup. It's whenever this hour rolls by, this thing is happening. Whenever that hour rolls by, oh my God. Or did he get enough rotations in? Or is his plan going to work of the thing he's going to try? I like all these little moments, and I think it keeps a pretty good pace, in my opinion. And they do a good job of kind of spicing things up with stuff I wouldn't have expecting them to do to him. But it was a good kind of dank thriller. I dug it. Oh, lost your sound there, buddy.
I had my mic muted. Wow. Yeah, no, I've been looking forward to this one since I saw the trailer. Like you said, we both really like Lil Rel. I'm happy to hear that it's good. I can't wait to check it out. It's been on my list. It's just, I haven't had a chance yet, but definitely gonna check it out. Yeah, thank you. That sounds.
I say it's
awesome.
one you got to be in the mood for it, though, kind of thing. Know you're getting into something that's gonna be dreary, I guess. And he's gonna have. I mean, there's moments that'll brighten up, but it's that's his. probably not as heavy as fucking Anatomy of a Fall, but it's going to be
in its own way.
Something. Yeah. It's the psychological effect. It's knowing what like is happening to him, I think, is the for lack of a better term, the satisfying part of it is just you're kind of experiencing it with him.
You know what it kind of reminds me of, kind of in a way, what you're saying, but a little bit different. Kind of reminds me of that Adam Scott show over on Apple TV Plus. That Ben Stiller directed, Severance. The one where like, yes, yeah, kind of reminds. I know it's not exactly like that, but it kind of gives me that type of vibe from what you're saying a little bit.
Fucking love that show. Well, what's funny is when Val and I were talking about this movie, that show came up, and shit. We just talked about this. The Adam. Hold on. All right, folks. Sorry, I got it. No, I need to scratch this itch. It was. Fuck. You know what? Maybe you'll know. All right. So it's the Netflix series or Netflix or whatever it was, where the guy goes to the company where they make a clone of him, and he in the dirt. Oh, and then we lost Adam. All right, folks. It's all good. So regardless, it stirs up a lot of those connotations of those sort of like 1970s, like woo, sort of sci-fi kind of fuck with your head sort of stories. And I like those elements. It's like the not quite Soylent Green, but somewhere in that field of like messing with your concept of how society could function in the future. But it was honestly a lot of fun for me. Would definitely check that one out. Really anything in that tone is a lot of fun, but I know we've got a couple more films left for you guys for review. But until then, I would like to give you a friendly reminder. We have the Movie Toast Festival coming in December. I know, you guys hear about it all the time. But in this instance, I want to remind you, we have an incredible array of films. We have incorporated a wide selection of different genres, and I'm just still so impressed by the things you guys turn out. Apparently we've got about 3 or 4 entrants that have returned to bring their new films in this year, and it's been fantastic. It's hard to say. I think this is probably our most solid lineup of all of the festivals up until now. So it's going to be a good one. It's going to be a good one, folks. I can't wait to share it with you guys. But before then, I know we're going to have a whole lot more Movie Toast fun. With the holidays coming, I know we're going to have a new series of holiday films that we'd like to cover. And then another thing, I know it's been a long time since we've talked about a lot of these Star Wars series and things that we had in the show, but please let us know. Should we bring that back on? Would you like to do a separate one-on-one? Hit us up at movie_toast on our socials. You can right here where the live is coming at you right now. Please let us know what you think, and I would love to get these things back to you. It's been a lot of stuff that. Oh, there he is. Hey.
Oh, yeah. I went to open up one page to look up the name Severance, and my computer started glitching. Apologies. Were you talking about, was it that Apple TV Plus film that you watched that had Awkwafina in it, where he went to find the clone to take over his life?
Not Swan Song.
Yes.
I liked that one a lot, but that wasn't it. No, it was a little bit more comedic. Oh my God.
Nope. I was about to open up another window here, but let me look on my phone.
I got it. Paul Rudd. There's 2 Paul Rudds.
Oh, yes. Living, or what the hell was it called?
Living with Myself.
Yes. Yeah. So, wow.
Like the creepy elements of that show, very much. I don't know. I liked how it drew that out. Severance, I think, kind of had some elements of that too. The mill feels like this is happening in the background. Like you could tell me he's working for the same company that made all of these things, and I would believe it. but in a modern pacing. Dialogue is moving faster.
Yeah.
You don't have nearly as many of those pregnant shots, but it's solid. It's solid. I was just reminding the Toasties about the festival in December.
Oh,
and
yes.
How fucking hyped we are for that one. But I didn't want to get too crazy on that, but like, I had to say,
I can't wait.
We've had this is easily the best lineup we've had.
I don't know how we're judging it, man. We haven't put the pieces together. We haven't gone head to head, but there's so many. You just look and we're like, oh, it's that film. Oh God, that's good. That's great. It's so many good films. And the beauty of this, I don't know if you mentioned it while I was having my glitch. There's some filmmakers that have been in previous years that. Some of them we knew, some we were shocked to find out, oh shit, you're back. And it's exciting to see progression amongst these filmmakers because they're fantastic.
And it's very much evident too, like across the board. Seriously, I like seeing people kind of push their limits or at least maybe attempt something maybe they weren't sure about trying in the first place, but it has paid off in spades. And we've got a awesome lineup for you guys. Seriously.
Yeah. All right. So back to reviews.
Yeah. Let's get your next one, man. We got one more out that we both get to tag team. But before then, Adam's got one more solo review. I don't know anything about this one, Adam. What do we got?
All right. So I have a movie that might have been one of the hottest movies to come out of the Toronto International Film Festival, TIFF, a couple of months ago. It's a movie that stars Nicolas Cage. It is called Dream Scenario. And apparently, I don't know what the hell happened to our slide for it, but let's see. Here we go. There we go. All right. So this movie, as you can see, has Nick Cage bald with the beard. It's funny because I also saw another movie starring Nick Cage with a similar look, but a totally different vibe. Anywho, he plays a tenured professor at a school, and nobody really cares about him. His students don't pay attention. His friends don't really. They don't really. He doesn't really have many friends. His family thinks he's kind of a loser, and he's just so unremarkable. He's like a nobody until someone mentions that they saw him in their dream. If something is going on in their dream and he's just walking by in the background of the dream, doesn't do anything. His daughter says this happens. A couple of friends that he knows, he runs to an ex-girlfriend who had this happen. And then it's a phenomenon. Someone writes a story about it, and then people find him on Facebook. They're asking him about it. He just blows up and becomes this huge celebrity. Because he's the guy that's in everyone's dreams, and him and his family, they're not looking for fame or anything, but he decides, well, I could use this to my, I can use this to my advantage. For years, I've been wanting to write a book, and maybe I'll be able to write a book and people will read it because I'm so hot. So he gets invited by a marketing firm that wants to market him. And you have Michael Cera is running the market, and they're like, well, we picture you doing Sprite ads, and we want to take pictures of you with Sprite, and people will see it. We'll tweet them out there. It'd be the last thing they see before they fall asleep, and maybe in the dream they'll see you drinking Sprite, and people want to buy Sprite. And he's like, I don't want to do that. And primarily, he's just like, I don't want to do this. I don't want any of this fame. And then once he starts to kind of dig it a little bit and give into it, things start taking a turn for the worse, and going from just being a passive person in dreams, he kind of becomes a killer, and it becomes nightmares for people. And it kind of shows it becomes a cancel culture. And like his students are afraid of him. He can't go out in public. People are afraid of him. And he's like, I did nothing. It's a dream. I don't know why you people are freaking out about this. So it's just this really interesting watching someone become a celebrity and then get canceled. And all of this happens because of dreams. And there's no explanation behind it. And it's just so odd. And it's a movie where you could picture Nicolas Cage going full Nick Cage and zany and wacky, but he's really reserved and calm and cool and just laid back. And it's like, holy shit. and that kind of adds to the character a bit. And it's really fun, and it's such an interesting movie.
Interesting,
like
yeah,
it's really fun. It comes out I think right around Thanksgiving, and it's just a good ride. And it's interesting. Back when they were putting the movie together, they were trying to package this as an Adam Sandler movie, and I can't picture. I mean, the Sandman does some pretty good stuff, but this is a role that feels like it was meant for Nick Cage. Like, it's fantastic, and
nice.
it's great. I can't say enough good things about this film. Definitely worth checking out.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Well, how many slices are you giving it?
I'm gonna give a Dream Scenario. I'm gonna give it 3.5 slices.
Fucking awesome. Dang. Nice.
I don't know what's keeping me back half a slice, but it's definitely a fun watch. And it has subtle comedy, and it has like the comedy's just great, like nonstop. The audience, everyone was eating it up in this packed house, this art house theater that we saw it in. It just went over like gangbusters. And if you can see this, if you can see it in the theater with an audience, that's the best way to see it. I don't know if it's going to be on VOD when it comes out, but definitely if you can, you should see it in the theater if it interests you.
Nice. But, that sounds cool. Yeah. I like that concept. That idea is great.
Yeah, it's very interesting and cool. But you got something. We both have something that is currently on Netflix, a new original.
To round out the show with a tag team. Yeah. This is the first feature-length directorial debut of Bill Burr in a little flick called Old Dads. Now we might have to dig around a little bit. This is an old one.
Our slides are all fucked up. I don't know what's going on here.
I chose a different version that didn't have that one in it. Let's see if I
got it here.
Find it. Oh, you got it?
Why? I'm on the same one here. I think I should have it here.
That's funny.
All right, it doesn't matter.
Regardless.
It's Old Dads, folks.
Yeah. Well, there you go. So like I said, this is the directorial debut of Bill Burr. He stars in the film as well. This is a story of kind of not far away from his life. I think I would.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. Not far away from his life. I think it's inspired a little bit by his own personal experiences, but he's he's around a middle-aged guy. Is when he finally started having kids, got married,
mid-40s.
He's had a successful business that they've now sold with his business partners. They've all agreed to do it. They're in somewhat similar stages in their lives. We quickly established kind of the hierarchy of who's in charge of whom, it's kind of immediately poking fun at the younger generation parents, especially the LA culture, and they sometimes the perceived oversensitivity to certain things versus political correctness versus like freedom of speech and personal opinion. When do you stand up for yourself versus when should you just be nice? And I like this sort of kind of balancing act that he's even as a grown ass adult, he's still navigating. You get some really classic, I think, Bill Burr delivery here.
Oh, heck yeah.
The writing, the dialogue is fucking fantastic. His two best friends, I think, beyond them, the cast across the board, the cast, I think, is great in this movie. Everyone is performing very well. There's the story kind of meanders, though, I feel.
It does. It does. So essentially, when they sell... Yeah. For a movie called Old Dads and being about guys raising kids, they kind of forget about that and takes a sidestep. And it's just more things happening, like life events, things don't go their way.
It's way more about how they are navigating these routes that they've taken and living with the choices they made and stuff, or the responsibility of the positions they're in. Regardless, like even up to that point, you're still having to handle that stuff. And you're right. No, it's funny. It's not really, although it is about family. That's kind of only a part of it. Like, and
a lot of these,
it's like the elements from F is for Family are the things that I appreciated the most that were in this.
See, I gotta watch that show after seeing this.
Oh
like,
my God.
I feel like a lot of these scenes just you stay in them and you live in them way too long. Like, especially like the scenes with him at the school dealing with the principal or the headmaster. I'm like, okay, and a lot of repetitive stuff. But by God, like you said, you're getting prime Bill Burr here. It's fantastic, and I felt kind of ashamed. I'm like, I totally side 100% with almost everything he's saying and freaking out about and pissed off about. And like then at the end when you meet Bruce Dern, you're like, oh, that's not something you should be happy about. That's kind of sad and pathetic.
The difference is he might be saying things you might be thinking or feeling, but he's fucking screaming it in someone's face.
Exactly. Yeah.
Do that. Like there might be a time and a place to individually react to these moments, and I like that that was a part of his character growth. But at the end of the day, it was also kind of like, fuck it. You know, it's like you kind of got the Bill Burr approach to the end, and I love the guy. His stand-up is some of my absolute favorite. He's one of the funniest fucking people I've ever seen live in person. And I love the way he talks about society and people. And you're right. I agree with a lot of things he says on stage. And like, but there's times he'll even admit himself where it's just like, I need to learn to shut my fucking mouth, you know? And it's and this whole movie was an homage to that moment of like, even as an adult, you're still starting to grow up and learn those things
and understand.
And I just lost my headphones.
Oh boy.
He's really funny. I love his stuff.
Oh yeah.
Like I said, the rest of the cast is really funny, but I'm with you. There's a lot of moments where the scenes just sort of meandered for quite a long time.
Yeah. And it made me wonder if they cut it, if it would flow a little easier.
Was that the intent? Like
to make you feel a little uncomfortable? I don't know. Maybe. Possibly. I don't know. It could have been tightened, but it still didn't make me say, oh my God, fuck this movie. Because I was along for the ride. I was waiting. I was enjoying the bits that were happening 90% of the time. And I don't know. It's an interesting film. Like seeing the different point of views from all these people, like how Bobby Cannavale is afraid of his wife. And one of my favorite things is like watching him write the letters to Bill Burr in the bathroom and like lighting them on fire and hiding them from the wife. I thought that was kind of cute and funny. And like interesting seeing God, I always mess up his name. Bookham, but the other friend, like how he's like he thinks he has life by the balls. He has an ex-wife. His kids go to great schools. The girlfriend doesn't want to get married, and then like seeing him freak out about like getting someone pregnant, and like then being mad about it, but like being a man about it and being like, yeah, of course I'm gonna raise this kid. I'm not gonna leave her, even though things that he's saying and doing doesn't seem like that. But I don't know. It's interesting. And like that's the thing. This movie is really sharp. It's really comedic. It's one of a kind. It's there's some harsh language in it that some people might not dig, but it's just a fun ride. I think definitely. I think worth watching, especially if you're a Bill Burr fan. I don't know. It was nice seeing Katie Ellisteen again, Mark Duplass's wife. I know I said her last name wrong probably, but seeing her as Bill's wife, that's kind of cool. And then just all the little cameos in the film, that's kind of nice. But I don't know. What would you give this film? I'm kind of in the middle. I feel like I want to give it 3.5 slices, but I'm like, that's too much. Is 3 too much? Is 2.5 just right? I don't know. I feel like somewhere between 2.5 and 3. I can't zero in on it personally. I think we're having some technical difficulties here. Please stand by. Dennis is going through something like I guess I was probably going through. But yeah, so this movie is definitely like it feels like a couple of different movies thrown into one movie in a way. Like you have a story about an older guy raising younger kids. You have a movie about someone who runs their business and giving it up to someone else, seeing how other people would run a business. Just there's a lot going on. I feel like in this movie.
Hey man, sorry about that. That's some fucking
good.
technical issues. That was ridiculous.
Bound to happen.
I'm sure you. God damn it! I'm sure you covered a lot of that when I was gone. But
no, please,
there was
please,
definitely
please.
something about this movie as I was watching it. I'll admit, like I was laughing at the dialogue.
It sounds like your mic cut out. It sounds like you're on like on deck audio. Is or maybe you're just far back. Sorry about that, folks. Sorry, Dennis.
No, I think it's just my computer's just having a hard time because it's loading back in.
Whatever. We're tricking on. It's all good.
Yeah. It's pushed through.
Okay. Just a little faint, but that's cool.
I don't know.
It's life. It's life. So what were you saying? Sorry.
Fucking stupid computer.
Hey, shit happens.
I liked going through the movie. I was really excited to watch it. I really, like I said, I'm a big fan of his stand-up. I like his writing style. His dialogue was good, but it's like the plot itself was like, what am I watching? Like, what am I waiting for?
Mm-hmm.
I get the basic structure is all there. I know I don't mean to sound like there's nothing. There is, but it's like it's a very kind of thin, easy to see layer. There's no complexity to it. We just kind of walk this line until we get to the end of the movie. I laughed in every scene, but there was always something that was kind of nagging at me like, wait a minute, why aren't I enjoying this more?
Right.
It's because I don't think we dug deep enough into the story. Like we spent so much time making sure we beat out everywhere we're supposed to go, and we have these guys go on their journey, and he goes on his personal journey. He finds out about himself, what he needs to improve, work on, but it doesn't like dig very deep past the surface level of anything so much as just then we're saying the next funny thing and we got another joke and I'm laughing at that, moving on. And I just kind of like the character development wasn't super rich for anyone except for him. Like his buddies didn't have to change that much, like they did.
I mean, they kind of a little bit. Like you got the one with the kind of abusive-ish wife. He kind of stands up for himself. Then you got the other one. He doesn't want to be a father again.
It's like he's scared to tell her even, and it's even like that payoff was even like, and he's still like a dork. What was it?
True.
He figures out the definition, or someone explains to him the definition for no cap, and that's like his crowning achievement is he had some young kid fist bump him, and I get it. Like here's my thing. I get it, and it's like, did you do the homework? Yes. Did you finish? Did you write them? Yeah. I mean, it's all there.
Sure.
But there isn't that. You didn't quite strike the chord. That's like really making me fall in love with this movie. Maybe we are not the age group either. I would like to very strongly point out, I think it would help if we were much closer to their age, had a kid, or at least had a couple more of those sort of. If we saw more of life through their eyes, I would probably ring through a little more. But then, you happen to find the guy out in the desert. You happen to meet your boss at the casino. I hated that shit. Everything was so
all circumstantial. Things fell in their laps.
Yeah, all of that stuff. And then all of the advertising that was in there was like as a fucking commercial. That got a little old with the branding logos that got slapped across my Simply Safe, Corona.
Yeah.
Now when I went to we're like, wait a minute, we know. Oh my god, we know where they are. We've been to that casino before out in Palm Desert. And there's just a few other things that were just like, oh my god, you could not have framed that any less like an ad for this product you just showed us.
True.
I don't know. I get when those things happen. But it's like, I don't know what it is. There was just.
I mean, for me, I think it's a movie called Old Dads, and they're not really being dads. We're not seeing them with their family enough. I mean, I want to see them with friends having fun, but I felt like there could have been more interesting development with the family. I don't know. Yeah.
Especially with all those cast members too. They had a lot of. That's why we were just watching reruns of 30 Rock the other day. So seeing. Suri as one of the moms at the fuck, where's she been? My God.
Right?
It took me a minute. Wait a minute. I know her face. I know I've just seen her face. Oh my God.
Because she's a little bit older, but she still looks the same.
Oh God, yeah. Right. Just like what's his name that plays Natasha Leggera's husband in the movie?
Yeah, the
he's always looked like that dorky kid. Like,
yep.
But
100%.
yeah, see, that's a
great cast.
There's things
great dialogue.
Like, yeah,
but weak story. I'm gonna give it.
Was a weak story.
Now looking at it at that, I'm gonna give it 2.5 slices. Could have been better, but I still enjoyed it. But I don't know.
I'm gonna double down because that was funny. Because I was like, at first I said I want to say 2.5, and I'm like, do I want to give it 3 though? Because I did.
See, I'm with you. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
You hold it against 3 slicers, and I'm like, you know what? No, that's what makes it. That's what separates for me. I'm like, okay, no, this reaffirms. I'm with you. 2.5 slices. I think that's fair. Yeah, go watch F is for Family. That's what you want to see.
See, I want to after seeing this and seeing the way he writes, I'm intrigued by that. I did say I want to get into that show. Yeah, 100%.
That's definitely worth it. Definitely worth it.
But I don't know. Not terrible, not great. Standard run of the line type of movie, but something's a little bit missing there. But what it is, who knows? I don't know. It's worth checking out if you like him and you want a few laughs here and there, I think. Yeah.
I agree. Yeah, I think it's worth watching, especially if you're a fan of his. It is definitely worth watching if you're a fan of Bill Burr.
100%.
I wouldn't skip it just because it's like better than mediocre. I even feel bad saying that. I don't want Bill Burr to be mad at me. I'm just like, oh God, he would probably say something. Although that would be some of the best shit you've ever heard, I'm sure. But
the tagline of this movie, it kind of sets you up. You're like, it's goofy. It's like, the times are changing. They didn't get the facts. And it's like, oh, okay. All right. That's quite the tagline, folks.
It kind of sounds like it's trying to incite a reaction from an audience before you've started watching it. But it's like, well, who are you trying to egg on the people who you think agree with you, even though the end of the movie results in you changing your mind and not acting like that?
Right.
Or who are you actually trying to get to watch this? I've read a lot of very negative reviews of the movie as far as like, oh, these what was it? It's like middle-aged men refusing to conform and talking down to the current generation, or another anti-woke film. It's like, no, it's not. He's not. That's not what it is. Especially if you get what his stand-up is. It's not. He's not against awareness of.
He makes fun of everyone equally.
But it's more like not an over acceptance or oversensitivity to all of that stuff. Like, yeah, you should be aware of those things, but don't like fucking put all of your shit on everyone else around you. That's really where it starts. I think that is the true problem in a lot of things today. Is I'm going to expect my beliefs and expectations on everyone else around me, and if you're anything less than that, then fuck you. All that, like. And I can't stand that shit. It's like, fucking, we're not all made the same way. I don't need to believe the same shit you believe. Like, and that's where I really get into enjoying what he has to say. It's like, well, fuck yeah, that's exactly it. But it's like that last scene. Thank you very much for your suggestion. And like that on the bike, that was fun.
I love how, like they pan out. You're like, all right, it's over, and then he just comes back for that one quick little scene, and then. It was nice. A little. That
was fun. Yeah,
I got the end.
See, those were the moments. I think we needed a few more of those. Pepper in a little bit more of the. Even if it is like he wants to say "fuck you" to Lime scooters, I don't care. That was funny. I was like, that's true. I've seen it happen too many times too. It's like, that's what you get for riding 30 miles an hour in a scooter with no helmet, douchebag. In the street.
Not thinking you're as good as a car. Yeah.
Oh, but no, I think it's a fun ride to take. Maybe not the greatest, but still worth it. Still worth the trip.
Yeah. Definitely. Also worth the trip is if you could go over to our socials. We're everywhere, folks. We're on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, fucking X. I already said Twitter. Fucking the whatever the fucking knockoff Twitter is.
YouTube, Facebook,
yeah, all that
Threads, Instagram,
for the most part.
all that noise. Yeah, we're all there.
If
As
you're,
you can see, scroll across the bottom of the screen. If you're watching, if you're not watching, please go ahead and hit the Google with @movie_toast. You're going to find us in a lot of those places right at the top. We're not the Freddie Highmore movie, mind you. Don't you confuse yourself.
No, we are. You should tell people to check it out. I recommend it to everyone. But no, thank you. If you did watch this, we had some technical issues, but hey, we're learning. We're trying something different. Yeah, it's part of life.
We're getting through the growing pains. Stick with us, folks. We're going to get there. Yeah. Sharpen it up. Try to keep the show fun, festive, interesting, and exciting for all of you as well as Toasty. But
we want to know what you like and what you don't like about the show. If you could head over to Apple Podcasts or over to YouTube, tell us what you enjoyed, what you want to hear more of, what you think we could tweak a little bit. Maybe you have a film suggestion. We want to talk to you guys. We want to start a little back and forth banter. Yeah.
We do. Very much want to hear from you folks. It's not all just us talking into the endless abyss of podcasting and videodom out into the internets. We got to hear back from you. This is the whole thing. Is it's a dialogue, conversation. We all just love coming here to watch movies, talk about the movies we love to watch, hated watching sometimes, unfortunately. Sometimes they sink all the way down into the tank.
Yikes.
They can't all be dicks.
Yeah. They wish they could be dicks.
But thank you so much for joining us, folks. Like I said,
yes,
we're working through the kinks. We're gonna try to get better week by week, but we're bringing you a whole new toast. This is a whole new way to slice bread you never even thought of. The way you've been asking for all this time.
And if you can't get enough toast, people, please head over to our TikTok page. There's daily film reviews, bite-sized reviews. Head over to our YouTube page. Check out some videos. Check out some interviews that we've done. Check out, we got a lot of content out there flowing around, and we hope you guys can enjoy it.
Yeah. And like mentioned earlier in this episode, the festival is happening again this year. Movie Toast the Festival will be this December on YouTube. We're streaming it live.
I want to say December 17th, but I could be wrong.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's sounding it sounds pretty fucking close to me.
It's a Saturday before the holidays.
Keep your That's right. Keep it open in your calendars, folks. Keep an eye out. We're going to officially announce the date, but that's likely a hit. The time as well. We'll tell you exactly what time it will start streaming.
Oh, yes, important.
But please come check it out. Like you said, a lot of fantastic entries. This is probably, I think, the best season we've had so far.
100%.
Some of the toughest choice between winners, I will say.
Yes.
It's been difficult in the past.
We don't even know who won yet.
He never even,
really hard this year.
We still haven't settled on that. But please come check it out. Please do. If you've done all that, absolutely.
Sorry, I cut you off there.
No, you're good. You've sat through this. You've either watched and or listened up to this point.
Mm-hmm.
You've sat through our reviews. We've asked you to go check out our socials. Please leave a review if you can on Apple Podcast. Please come check out the film festival in December. But if you can't do any of that shit, it's a little message we'd like to tell you every episode. Please, everyone, stay toasty.
I don't think the song's ever ending. Why won't it end? Oh my God! Whew.
There it is.
We did it.
Yes, we did.
Hour 48 minutes. Sorry about the glitch there. I'm happy we both had a glitch. Mine was worse than yours. I was afraid.
My headphones died completely, and I had to join back in because I couldn't switch outputs. I told it to switch to my onboard speakers, and it wouldn't. The sound wouldn't change over, so I had to.
Weird.
I panicked and tried to jump out and jump back in, and that seemed to fix it. But I don't know. Yeah. Next time I may not go with the earbuds. I'm just going to go with the headphones, over-ear headphones. Right
yeah. So it feels weird not having my big cans on. But I just feel like it looks goofy on the video. But it's like, hey, if it works, it works.
It's only on so many other bajillion
right
YouTube channels and like Mm-hmm. I don't know.
I like how we had like
one viewer cooler.
They do. They make us look a little more professional, but with the green screen, it like sometimes can get a little wonky. But hey, that's
what I mean. Like, I wish there was more design. Like lights or something. Like fucking flashy.
Yeah.
No, but I assumed that was you. I kind of assumed you were just like checking on your phone.
No, I did check once. One time I went everywhere to check to make sure it was up and running, and we were there. And I guess I should end this stream right now.
Yep.
Toasty.